The topic we're going to be discussing in this video is flooding mitigation strategies. So first, it's important to recognize the different types of floods that are present. We have different inland floods, such as river floods, flash floods, man-made floods, and urban floods, and coastal floods that will be occurring because of things like hurricanes and storm surges. So mitigation is, in general, a reduction of the harmful effects associated with something. In this case, flooding. So that would mean maybe damage done to property or human lives, even. So the traditional methods of mitigation include structural and non-structural components. So the structural components are what you would generally think of, like levees, dams, breakwaters, flood walls, traditional methods to just keep water out. And non-structural methods are methods that kind of indirectly deal with the problem by maybe buying residents' homes to relocate them or, building structures on higher elevations to prevent water from reaching them at all. So here's some examples of some structural systems here. We have some levees, some dams, some channels, some culverts, breakwaters, and flood walls. So we also have nature-based methods of mitigation, which is a completely different topic. The solutions here rely on existing properties of natural resources. It's very sustainable and effective with its designs, and it really relies on natural processes that traditionally prevent flooding naturally. It just uses some environmental engineering practices to kind of build on this, maybe restore anything that's been degraded, and make sustainable systems that will last for a while. It's actually cheaper than traditional infrastructure and generally very effective. It's also non-invasive. So here are 3 examples of inland environments where these systems may be placed. We have some bioswales, which is like an underground channel of water that runoff can flow into in urban environments. We have earthen berms, which is a system that allows for runoff to flow naturally, and rain gardens, which is a system that collects water and prevents runoff from even occurring. We also have some examples in coastal environments. We have wetlands, dunes, and coral reefs, which are naturally occurring, but with environmental engineering practices are kind of helped out a little bit, made to be the best they can be and restore them to their natural process. We also have beach nourishment, which is adding sand to eroding beaches, and oyster reefs, which is creating kind of some breakwaters with oyster communities. One important thing to think about here is climate change, since flooding is expected to increase 26% by 2050 because of rising sea levels and increasing temperatures, which increases rainfall and frequency of storms. Many technologies and structures are kind of outdated, looking at flood patterns from the past decades and even centuries. So we really need to change how we interact with floods and rising sea levels and adopt new technologies and replace aging structures, making everything really sustainable and suited to the coming environment.